Hey guys, this is Ergo the Low Human, and it's deck tech time. So we reached number 4 in the world. Well, for one day, but still, number 4 with our Sacrifice Me deck. So this is our career high. Last month we got to number 8 with Vamp. So this time we use another brew, Sacrifice Me, and without further ado, here is the deck tech. And it is starting. There we go. Alright, so at its core, this is just another aggressive creature deck that can curve out nicely. So we have 8 1-drops for Gutter Bones for Knight of the Ebon Legions, and another 8 2-drop creatures with Priest of Forgotten Gods and Dreadhorde Butchers. We also have our Anthem effects. We have Judith, our Sacrifice Shenanigans. They're already decent with 3 to cast 3/3 with some bonus sacrifice abilities. So we have Devil, and then we have our big guns, our finishers, the Curve Toppers with the Rekindling Phoenix, got Eternal Bond 2, and Angrat, the Flame Chain. So yeah, this can curve out nicely. Gutter Bones, Knight of the Ebon Legion to Dreadhorde Butcher or Priest, into Judith, Rekindling Phoenix, Bond 2, just attack, 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 swing, swing, swing. But there is a twist with this deck. This deck has shenanigans, sacrifice shenanigans specifically. So the key card here is the Priest of Forgotten Gods. Yeah, so she is the main cog in our sacrifice engine. She makes your other creatures commit seppuku for the greater good. So the cost might seem steep, but you do get 4 useful effects. So her ability is sacrifice 2 other creatures. Then any number of target players each lose 2 life and sacrifice a creature. You add 2 black and draw a card. So that's make your opponent lose 2 life. That's 1. Then they have to sacrifice a creature. So that's 2. Then you ramp into 2 more black mana. That's 3. And you draw a card. So that's 4 effects. So if you're able to sacrifice useless creatures or expendable creatures, then you're getting a ton of value from the priest's ability. Alright, and then there's another new card, or a new card, or the new Planeswalker from M20, Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. So she is the best friend of the Priest of Forgotten Gods, since her second ability, 0, create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. They gain haste, then sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. So these tokens will die anyway. You might as well just sacrifice them with the priest and get more value. Kill the one of the opponent's creature, draw a card, make them lose 2 life. Awesomeness. So you can just keep using it, loop, repeat every turn. Every turn, force them to sack, draw a card, ramp. So you sure you can lock down the opponent if they have no answer for either Chandra or Priest. Well, that is if they are a creature deck. If they are a non-creature deck, then that's a whole different story. Okay, so that's our main sacrifice engine, but we do have other sacrifice shenanigans here. We have Judith. Aside from being an anthem, she gives your other non-token creatures a death trigger, a ping death trigger. So you surely can combo with Priest, so you can kill first one of their 1 toughest guys, like the Skyward Aspirant or Skyward Marcher Aspirant, and then force them to sack their bigger and more relevant creature. Then we have Mayhem Devil, so whenever we sacrifice, or whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, it can ping any target. So also works well with the Priest of Forgotten Gods sacrifice shenanigan, and even Chandra, since you will naturally sacrifice the tokens at your end step. Then you can deal 2 damage. Then after that, we have our big guns. So we have Rekindling Phoenix, got Eternal Bontu, and Angrat the Flame Chain. So Phoenix, enough said. This is one of the mainstays in red decks. It's very resilient against control. It's a big hitter. 4 to cast 4/3 flying. She has evasion, and comes back. She is reborn whenever she dies. So very good against mass removal decks and even spot removal decks. She's not particularly good against those Teferi decks, but the key is you have enough presence on the board that Teferi won't matter that much. And after that, we have Bontu. So he's a 5 to cast 5/6 menace. So when God Eternal Bontu enters the battlefield, sacrifice any number of other permanents and draw that many cards. So it helps you refill your hand. If you have nothing left, if your board was destroyed, then draw a ton more cards so you can rebuild your board. Then he has a combo with Mayhem Devil, since Devil can ping any target whenever a player sacrifices. So if you have enough permanents on the board when you have Bontu, so maybe you can just sacrifice all of them and deal lethal damage to the opponent. So sometimes you can get a win out of nowhere with that Mayhem Devil God Eternal Bontu combo. Then lastly, we have Angrat, the Flame Chain. So this is our big Planeswalker. He is very good against both control and creature decks for me. Since his +1 opponent discards a card, loses 2 life. Then his -3, you gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it, gains haste until end of turn, then sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step if it has converted mana cost 3 or less. So since our deck has a lot of sacrifice cards like Priest and Massive Immolation, so usually you can steal one of their big creatures, attack it, and then sacrifice it to the Priest or the Massive Immolation and get more value. Yeah, usually you can use this -8, but it shouldn't reach that point. If it reaches -8 against a control deck, usually you will lose. He will likely still have a ton of life, or he doesn't care. Yeah, he doesn't care because he knows he will win, or he or she knows they will win no matter what. That is control. Alright, so sideboard. We built our sideboard against the meta decks right now. Meta decks here, I believe, are Vamps. I would say Scapeshift, Esper Control, Band, Elementals, and what else? What else we're missing? Maybe Jund Dinos. So creature decks, a lot of creature decks. So we do have 2 Disfigures against aggro decks. Very good against Vamps, RDWs. We have 2 Duress, discard package, 2 Duress, and 2 Drill Bits against control/combo decks. We have 2 Noxious Grass. Also good against control decks since they always have Teferi, so good target against Teferi. And good against green decks with those Krasis, Nisa. So usually I just switch. I remove the Rampage, switch it with the Noxious Grass, since this is a better, you can target the creature or Planeswalker. Then we have Bloodsun against Scapeshift. Just nerfs their Field of the Dead combo, so no more zombies for you, sir. Then we have Legion Warboss against Control, if you need to be more aggressive. Ashok also against Scapeshift deck, so they have a lot of cards that searches their library for lands. With Ashok, they can't use those anymore. Or they can't search. They can still cast them, but they won't be able to search. And we have 2 Theater of Horrors also against control decks. Or against deck that usually become grind it out fest. Cavalier of Night against burn deck, red deck wins, and control... No, not control. Creature decks. So very good against dinos. Yeah, imagine sacrificing your Gutter Bones to kill Galta. That's one of the best feelings in the world. and then another Angrat in sideboard. Alright, so that's it. So let's go to the matches. Let's see how the deck runs. So for our first match, we were up against none other than the Mythic Invitational champion himself, Andrea Mengucci. So he was using a Scape Shift deck with Risen Reef. He also had some cool tech, I believe, like Vraska, Golgari Queen, which can get additional value from the usual Mana Flood from Scape Shift, and even deal with those sideboard Bloodsuns and Vraska. Alright, so who do you think won? I don't know, were we able to get a game out of the Mythic Invitational champion? Well, you should just watch and see what happened. So here we go. Whoa! Alright! So that was the 1, 2, 3 punch. Aggro punch. So we were just able to aggro him out. Basically. He killed him before he was able to set up enough lands for Field of the Dead. He did have Vraska, which was interesting, but he had to kill Judith. And in Judith's death, Judith was able to kill Vraska in turn, so her death was not in vain. Thank you very much, Judith. For sideboarding, well, we put in our discarders. Think we should have put in Ashok. I don't know what we did. We did not put in Ashok for some reason. We also remove a couple of Rampage and Priest. And I think our game plan was to be just to be aggressive. Just like in game 1. Try to kill him before he sets up his stuff. Because we will never win if he has his combo out. Alright, so here we go. Game 2. Blah! Boom! That was a crazy game. Well, we kept a slow hand. I think we had Spawn of Mayhem and Rekindling Phoenix and might have top deck Chandra. Although I thought we still had a chance. Thought we still looked good when we had those Mayhem and Rekindling Phoenix out. Because that's, I don't know, 8 points of damage every turn. But then he cast an 8-8 Hydroid Crisis. GG. And then after that, he cast a 9-9 Crisis. And then another Crisis. So triple Crazy. He didn't even need this combo. Well, that's why he's the Mythic Invitational champion. And we're just a lowly human. So we had Chandra, but we badly needed a discarder. I think if we drew a drill bit, that could have changed the complexion of the game. That we would have likely discarded the Crisis and prevented him into chaining into more Crisis. Okay, so grudge match. You're all tied up, so this is game 3. Just as it should be. Here we go. So next match is against one of the breakout decks during the MCQW in MTG Arena. Kethis the Hidden Hand combo. That deck is just nuts. I neglected to watch the MCQW and did not read any articles afterwards, so I had no idea what the heck I was dealing with. This deck kind of reminds me of Nexus, but with a faster clock and a better game against aggro. So without further ado, Cat is the Hidden Hand combo. Let's check it out.
Only time will tell. Thank you later. I've got time.
What the heck was happening? So I thought we were playing against a Jack deck, but we were sorely mistaken. We curved out nicely. Turn one knight into priest into Chandra. The problem was our opponent just had too much gas. So we were able to kill the first excavator, then double casted Angrat's Rampage with Chandra to get rid of his Kethis. But you just replaced them with a Lazav and another excavator. And Lazav copied Kethis, and combo was on again. So the key point was when he was able to kill the priest with an Oath of Kaya, preventing us from continuing our sacrifice shenanigans. So after Lazav copied Kethis, all hell broke loose. Of note, against this matchup, I believe the more important card to get rid of is the Excavator. This since that enables him to fill up his graveyard insanely fast. So even if we kill Kethis, he still has a Lazav, which he can copy the Kethis in the graveyard. Right, so on to game 2. As for sideboards, I think we just added more discarders. That's what we usually put against combo decks. And I'm not sure. I think we put in Ashok. I hope we did. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's see.
Here be no fire, no steam.
Alright, wait, let me turn off the music. Okay, okay. So, game 2. What happened there? Well, we won, so that was good. We were stuck in, I think, mono black for most of the game in only 2 lands. Fortunately, our opponent was also stuck at 2 lands and did not get his black mana. From there, we were able to ramp with the priest and draw a red mana for an early Angret for the win. Okay, so grudge match, game 3. How did we do? Let's see.
Anyone nearby started? Say hi to my slimy friends. Well, that's rude. You get him, buddy. You get him, buddy.
You, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of your ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Alright, so a similar problem once again for his deck actually. So he did not get his white mana, and we were able to exile Azav and an excavator with 2 legions, and he actually had 2 Urza's Renew's Blast. If he was able to, or if he had been able to cast that, then he would have had the upper hand. He also had 2 Triferi stuck in his hand, so he badly needed that white mana. We were extremely lucky to pull off the win there. Okay, so in conclusion, I don't think this is a good matchup for us. He has a mass exile effect, a ton of early creatures with 3+ toughness, always bad, with an aggro deck, and of course the dreaded Triferi. So we might have to add another Ash Shock if more of these decks pop up. Okay, so next match. It's time for the Boogeyman matchup against the widely considered best deck in Standard right now. That's right, Vamps. So like I said, this is one of our best matchups and the main reason why we were able to reach number 4. We love playing against aggressive creature decks, and Vamps is definitely the aggressive creature deck to beat right now. So, how did the match go? Well, you be the judge.
I drink only the spice. Roar like I, a sky of many voids. What's the bright red? I'm truly the best card I could given. Find your fire with passion within. Hey, you can buy them right. If you threaten Innistrad, I will take it personally. That calls your soul. Hey, you can buy them right. Do not defy aristocracy. I cannot be killed. What is one life to save many? Hey, you can buy them right.
Okay, so game one, he had a good curve. Actually, he had turn one Legion's Landing. Turn two, cast down, killed our priest. And then turn three, Sorin, -3 into Champion of the Dusk and draw two cards. So we were way behind, but we were able to climb our way back slowly but surely with our second priest and Chandra sacrifice shenanigan combo. So it was very close. We went all the way down to 3. So we were just a Sorin Helix away from dying. But he finally ran out of ammo. Well, we just kept drawing cards with the priest. Drawing cards, killing one of his creatures, dealing 2 damage, wrapping ourselves. So yeah, priest is awesome. Okay, that was a very close game one. Then game two, well, all I can say is it's better to be lucky than good. So I think he gambled on a one lander there, and those rarely work out. So too bad for him, but good for us. Okay, so next match. What is the next match? Oh yeah, it's a matchup that helps our deck shine against Boros Feather. Where is that? Boros Feather, yeah. Well, since we target the player with our sacrifice shenanigans, God's Willing doesn't really help him. So God's Willing will not save his creatures. Alright, so... Okay, without further ado, let's open up the Boris Feather matchup. So I will keep my mouth shut the rest of the way since the games are pretty much self-explanatory. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing my voice right about now. Okay, enjoy guys. And Ergo out. Okay, that's it. Let me turn off the music. What is the music? Okay. So yeah, that's the deck. Thank you guys for watching. Uh, Modifications. I'm not sure. Well, there is the return of one particularly impactful card. It was banned and now it's back. So let's say a warm welcome to Rampaging Ferocidon, I believe. Yeah, it's Rampaging Ferocidon. I don't have the picture here. I'll add it up later. Eh, whatever. No need. I'm sure you guys know Rampaging Ferocidon. So it's a 3/3 red card, 2 colorless, 1 red. It's a 3/3 menace, and then whenever a creature enters the battlefield under player's control, Rampaging Ferocidon deals 1 damage to that player. And then players can't gain life. 3/3 menace, 3 to cast, players can't gain life, deal 1 damage per creature that enters the battlefield on that under that player's control. So very, very good for aggressive decks. Since you want you're opposing a creature oriented player to lose more life, be more aggressive. So at note, I guess this is an auto include in the sideboards. It's particularly very good against scape shift decks and vamps. So we run the risk of killing ourselves, but I think we should be able to kill the opponent faster. So yeah, Rampaging Ferocidon seems pretty good. Alright, so that's it. Thank you guys once again. Please follow or like our channels or our pages. Ergo Gamer on Facebook and ErgoBert on Twitch. So we do stream live regularly. So check it out. Check out our journey back to the top, or at least as high as we can go. So let's see. So may the spark be with you. Ergo the lowly and signing off. Thank you.